Hi everyone, this is Cece. I have decided that I would start the units on the tarot cards, specifically the major arcana, um, again from the beginning. However, instead of just regurgitating each post, since they're sort of all similar, the exercise is the same, I thought that I would drop short videos for each unit again. I'll still be continuing the other cards right to the end of the major arcana, so card 22. I'll still be posting those, but in order to sort of do a little bit of a loop for people who want to do some reviewing, I thought that doing short videos would be kind of fun. So well, let's see if it works, and hopefully it'll get you interested in looking at your cards if you haven't purchased any yet. You know, you can look at some online or just follow the videos without any cards and take notes until you decide to get your own. So we'll get started on this, and I'm going to start with the Fool. So let's start. This is generally the visual for the Fool. So a young man walking along. Usually you will see his dog with him. In this picture you don't really see him. Nope, you don't see him in this one. This is the vice versa deck. It's a deck that I really like to use, mainly because for my own personal preference, I don't like to read cards upside down. So I don't like seeing a card like this. For some people, and most people will have learned that way, so they will. I tend to always like reading my cards upright. And in having said that, I bought this deck because it has the what would be considered the upright side, and when you flip it over, you have the reverse of it, and interestingly enough, they're designed that way. So you'll see the what's considered the upright one is him facing the reader. So if I'm looking at him like this, he's facing me. I'm looking at him, and in that, for myself, I tend to read the card as being something that is just beginning. It's coming into form. If I were to pick the card up or draw it, with the reverse showing, you can see that with the reversed, even if I'm facing and looking at it, I'm standing behind him looking at what he's looking at, which I find very interesting. I quite like that perspective. And in this, you see the dog, and he's holding, I guess, a stick and a pole, and has a bag swinging from it. It's in the front as well, and he's holding a flower, and he's standing on the edge of what looks like a precipice. Not much different on this side, as you can see, because you're basically standing behind him looking. So now the exercise that we've been doing is to take whatever card that you have. Now in this case I used this deck. There's another deck that I have called the Good Tarot, which I absolutely love as well. And this is the depiction in the card. And from yet another deck is the Law of Attraction deck that I bought one time when I just thought the images looked really different. And as you'll see when I'm doing the other cards, they are quite modern The sceneries are quite modern. In this case, it's not. They've taken the what the original Fool in the historical context would look like, which is the hat and everything. I personally find this card a little creepy. But it is the Fool card in the Law of Attraction deck. You'll see in this case that instead of using a dog, they've got a cat. So it really is all up to interpretation. So you'll see in this card that in the corner here, you have the night sky with the moon, and on this side, you have the day sky with the sun and the clouds. It's sort of a bit of a reflection on the card, the vice versa card that I have, where this is dawn, with the sun rising behind the mountain peaks, and the reverse side shows the night sky, as does this one. So you'll see that there's always in each deck that's designed, there are a few. They do try to stick to common elements that will allow the reader to read into it, basically. So with this one, with the Fool card, what we try to do in these exercises is, instead of looking into the actual meaning of the cards, as in new beginnings, look before you leap, starting from scratch. Those would be some of the general traditional card meanings. What we want you to do in this exercise is to take a look at your card, the card that you have purchased, and if you're not yet ready to do something like that, you can search online for a deck that calls out to you, that you really the images, that you're attracted to the images, and that you can really read into those images. And the exercise is to look at the card and to imagine the card becoming larger than life in front of you, and for you to step into the card. In this case, you wouldn't want to be stepping on this side, you'd want to be stepping on this side, and to look at all of the details in the card, such as the flower, the bag, what he's wearing, the landscape, the feeling that you yourself would get if you yourself were standing at this juncture, at this point, and have the character in the card give you a message. And so I guess there's a certain amount of meditation that you would do, but to really listen to see what is this character telling you, and this is a really good way to get to know your cards, and to spend time with them, and to just take notes and write down what you come up with. And it might not jive with the traditional meaning, but I think it's important to learn how to intuitively read the person that you're reading for. And these cards are really just well, they're not just tools, but they are tools for you to use in order to channel the energy of your client, or the person you're reading, your friend, even yourself. So here we are at the end of this sequence. I'm going to go through each of the cards again. And in this case, so you'll see there's different images, different scenery, different environments for you to pick from when you're looking at different cards or your own deck. And have fun with it. Write down your notes. Just learn to connect with yourself, to connect with your intuition. So, all right, so this is the end of this one, and I will move on to the next card, which is the Magician, and I'll post it in a few days. Thank you. Bye-bye.